Hello everyone, welcome to Interpersonal Competence Chapter 7, and in this chapter we will talk about verbal intercultural communication, and firstly we will learn about the definition of verbal codes and the uniqueness of human beings usually centered on people's capabilities to manipulate and understand symbols that allow interaction with others. Language allows a person to talk with others, to understand or disagree with them, to make plans, to remember the past, to imagine future events, objects and experiences that exist in some other location, and rules system in verbal codes, phonology. When you listen to someone who speaks a language other than your own, you will often hear different sounds. The basic sound units of language are called phonemes, and the rules for combining phonemes constitute the phonology of a language. Morphology, phonemes combined from form morphemes, which are the smallest unit of meaning in a language. Semantics, monomes either singly or in combination are used to form words. Meaning of words is called semantics. Source of information about the semantics of a language is a dictionary. Syntax, for example, children are first learning how to combine words into phrases. They are being interacted to the syntax of their language. Language stipulates the correct way to arrange words. Set of rules that govern the sequence of the words. To learn another language, you must learn those rules. Pragmatics, the effect of language on human perceptions and behaviors. Pragmatics focuses on how language is actually used. Pragmatic analysis of language goes beyond phonology, morphology, semantics, and syntax. Interpretation and intercultural communication. The role of interpretation in today's world. Issues surrounding the interpretation of verbal codes from one language to another. Another are becoming more and more important for all of us. Issues in interpretation very important. People involved in intercultural transaction must often depend on the services of multilingual individuals who can help to bridge the intercultural communication. Types of equivalence. Verbal equivalence. To establish vocabulary equivalence, the interpreter seeks a word in the target language that has the same meaning in the source language. Idiomatic equivalence. An idiom is an expression that has a meaning contrary to the usual meanings of the word. Idioms are so much a part of language that people are rarely aware of using them. Types of equivalence. Grammatical, syntactical equivalence. Some language make grammatical distinctions that others do not. Experiential equivalence. Differing life experience are another hardly the interpreter must overcome. The worst president must have some meaning within the expression framework of the person to whom the message is directed. The Sapir Whorf's hypothesis of relativity. The Sapir-Whorf hypothesis is not intended to provide a precise rendering as articulated by Sapir and before which is virtually impossible to do. Sapir and Whorf's major contribution to the study of intercultural communication is that they hold attention to the integral relationship among thought, culture and language. Variation in vocabulary concerns the terms a language uses to identify and divide colors in the spectrum. For example, the Camara Indians of Brazil have a single word that refers to the colors that English speakers would call blue and green. Variation in linguistic grammars, a rich illusionators of the repetitive relationship among language, thought and culture can be found in the grammatical rules of different languages. Languages shapes how its users organize the world. The patterns of a culture will be represented in its language and vice versa. And the semantic and semantic features of language are powerful shapers of the way people experience the physical and social world. Sapir and Whorf's assertions that language dimensions or our reality have proved to be false. And language, ethnic group identity and dominance. The importance that cultures attribute to language has been established in fact. Some would argue that the very heart of a culture is its language, and that a culture is if its language is. A language will remain vital and strong if groups of people who live near one another use the language regularly. Alternative versions of a language. No language is spoken precisely the same way by all who use it. Terms often associated with the alternative forms of a language include dialectic, accent, argot, and jargon. Dialects are versions of a language with distinctive vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation that are spoken by particular groups of people or within particular region. Dialects can play an important role in intercultural communication because they often trigger a judgment and evolution of the speaker. Accents, distinguishable marks of pronunciation are called accents. Accents are closely related to dialects. Research studies repeatedly demonstrate that speakers' accents are used as a cue for inferences of them. And jargon and argot, specialized forms of vocabulary. Jargon refers to a set of words or terms that are shared by those with common profession or experience. Argot refers to specialized language that is used by a large group within a culture to define the boundaries of their group from others who are in a more powerful position in society. The verbal codes and intercultural competence. Firstly, the link between knowledge of other verbal codes and intercultural competence is obvious. Impossible for anyone to be proficient in all of the verbal codes that might be included in intercultural communication. improve competence in adjusting to difference in verbal code when communicating interculturally. And thank you for watching this chapter, and see you in the next chapter.